I purchased a preloaded hard drive for insertion into a suitable laptop from Aliexpress. That's the URL of the company that manufacture that. It has all the diagnostic software that you can see on the screen preloaded, and it has to be initialized by them. It uses a Tactrix Open Port dongle which came with the kit and failed almost immediately. I purchased a Tactrix, a genuine Tactrix part from California. Here you can see the selection of the vehicle. You can actually do this by just going to the vehicle group at the top. Once this is running at 5 times speed because it takes a long time for Xentry to work. But now what we're doing is we're connecting to the vehicle. Because of the dongle, I'm guessing the software doesn't know the ignition is on, so you actually have to check the ignition on box on the screen for this to work. The ignition needs to be turned on also for this to work. You can see now it's going through all the different steps, and once it's actually communicating with the vehicle, it'll then ask you what do you want to do, and we're going to initialize the quick test. Sorry, since this is 5 times you may not have seen that. All of the modules are then brought up, and it will run through every single module one after the other, and you'll actually see them paginating down the screen. And if there are errors, you'll actually see either a small I for information, a small f for a minor problem, and a capital F for a fault that needs to be dealt with. Now you're actually seeing the results, and you can actually see the direct select interface has got a small f. On my car, for some reason, when you press the P park button, it doesn't always go into park, and now we know why. There's obviously a short circuit to a ground. Happens very rarely, but I know there's an issue, and it's obviously recorded that some time ago since it's a stored issue. Going down, you can actually see the next fault code is going to be the tire pressure monitor. Over the last few days I've had a problem with one of the TPS sensors not working correctly, so I'm guessing I need a new TPS sensor. The next one down is the electronic stability program. To scroll down to see what that is there. Oh, at some time the power supply is outside the valid range, so that's why it's just a small I. It's just an information item. I'm guessing at some point I was trying to use the car when the something where the engine wasn't running and it was below voltage. You can see here there's a capital F down there. Anyway, before we get there, we've got a TeleAid, which is the automatic information exchange with Mercedes-Benz, and since I don't subscribe to it, guess what, it's not working. Left rear door. If I try and lock or unlock from the left rear door, occasionally it won't unlock or lock, and it says on here there's obviously a malfunction. It's intermittent, which is obviously one of those problem ones that I'm going to have to look at how do you solve this down the way. The seat, if you use the lumbar pump on the seat, after a while it'll deflate. So unsurprisingly, there's a fault being called here for the leakage. I've actually changed the pneumatic pump in the trunk to see if that would solve the problem. It hasn't solved it. There's also a PDF function where you can output all of the faults to a PDF, and it'll actually print that save that document on there. This is also, if you click on further information, you'll see this page here. There's nothing much I can really tell you about this. If if you get to this page, maybe you can learn more about it and tell me what it's about. I tried to communicate with the pneumatic pump just to see if I could reinitialize it. It actually said in the diagnostic information that it needs to be initialized. So I went to the adaptation page and sought to try and see if I could actually set it up. What happened, as you'll see in a moment, is that trying to do so, you actually have to communicate via the web with the Mercedes-Benz system setup server, and since I don't have any access codes or anything, it clearly fails, as you'll see. If you look on the web, you'll actually see there's a lot of information about how you can actually go around communicating with the Mercedes-Benz server and the keys that are required. Beyond me at this point, but you can actually see here that we weren't able to carry this out. I suppose if I'd gone into the manual mode, I might have been able to do this. But having said that, the pump works, so clearly the pump is actually functioning. So whatever the error that came up that said it needed to be initialized clearly isn't the case. It works as it is. Now we're at the point where we can actually clear all of the codes, and that's what's happening now. I clicked on the clear code and it will take all of those codes out and erase them. If you want to, once you've erased all the codes, you can actually go ahead and then run a final quick test once more just to see if there are any codes left. I've never bothered to do it. I did it the first time, never bothered to do it since then, because every single time I've done it, it works fine. Now we're at the point where we can exit the program, so we can see that we've cleared all the codes. We're looking at the general information on the vehicle. The repair forecast obviously won't work because that needs connecting to the Mercedes-Benz server. Then we can quit and log off. Close Xentry, and away we go. That's it. All done.